Hello everybody, my name is Debbie Friday and I'm here to talk about my new single, All I Want to Do Is Party. So first things first, like off the bat, I'm just gonna say that I had this whole idea I was gonna do a whole nice setup like I did last time and like have a costume and everything, but I am in the middle of a production right now and everything's a mess. Like I don't even have time to think about it. So this is what you're gonna get, guys. Like anyway, so I'm gonna talk about the song, I'm gonna talk about the video, and then I'm also gonna talk about my new album, which is called The Starrr of the Queen of Life, and it comes out August 1st. But anyway, let's get into it. So Party is one of the first songs that Darcy and I started working on when we were in London, but actually ended up being one of the last songs that we ended up finishing during our sessions. And I think that's just because I knew what I wanted the chorus to sound like, but it actually took me quite a while to figure out the verses. Like when I heard those synths right off the top, I just heard like, all I wanna do is party, na na na. But then I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do for the verses. It just took us a little bit of time to like figure out the structure and everything. But then we did. On the surface, I feel like when you listen to the song, you think that, oh, like this is just a song about partying. But if you read the lyrics and you actually listen to what I'm saying, there is a lot of like existential malaise and a fucking crisis of consciousness that's happening in the song. And when I hear it, I just think about how much anxiety I had at the time. I was going through a lot personally, but also like geopolitically, there was a lot going on. This was in August of 2024 when I wrote this, and I just remember like feeling this sense of dread and fear of the future. And I feel like you can hear that when you hear the song, like even in those synths that start up at the beginning go throughout, like the like that really has like this dreadful like horror kind of feeling to it. It's just like this very intense sense of pressure and unease. And when I say all I want to do is party, I'm talking about hedonism as the escapist desire, you know? All my avoidantly attached people, stand up. Like it's basically just this idea of pleasure seeking as a way to escape the hero's call or, you know, life's problems. Like this idea that like, okay, if I just don't think about anything and if I just close my eyes, like everything's gonna be okay. Like I don't have to worry about the future. I don't have to worry about myself. I don't have to change. As far as the lyrics, where I'm like, watch the world go fucking crazy, I felt like I was watching the world go crazy. Like I felt like I was watching the world go crazy. Honestly, like I still feel that way to this day. And of course, part of it is what I was going through personally, which is like all of my stuff around having to self-manage and just, I was going through a lot like personally and professionally. And so my world felt like it was going crazy, but then also the larger world and like the larger context of our culture and our society, I felt like I was just watching things basically break down. Like we are in imminent collapse, and it's worse now, you know, but I think the song captures the feeling of the general state of unease that I feel like we've been in for the last couple of years that have just been like ramping up. Like we are not on solid ground at all as a society, and a lot of the news that we have these days just feels like really apocalyptic. When I read like Twitter or something, which I'm really trying not to be on as much anymore because it was making me crazy but when I read Twitter, like I feel crazy. Like I feel crazy. And so I think I was just trying to capture that in the lyrics while also being able to make something that was still like fun and would get people dancing and would be, you know, melodic and musical and not just like doom and gloom. Like it sounds like a very happy song when you listen to All I Want to Do Is Party, but there's a lot going on beneath the surface. I think I just really became obsessed with this idea of the end of the world, the end of the world. And I was thinking a lot about like how to soundtrack the end of the world. Those of you who know, like a couple years ago during the pandemic, I made this audio play called Link Sick. And that to me was like my first iteration of this idea of like, you know, music at the end of the world. What would that sound like? In Link Sick, basically, it's like this story that I wrote where it is like this post-apocalyptic world and people just rave all the time, like 24/7. Young people are just like raving all the time and they're like stuck in this virtual reality. And I feel like Party was this continuation of some of those ideas that I've been exploring over the years. I'm very fascinated by the idea of what art looks like at the end of the world. Like, what does music sound like? What are people wearing? What are they doing? How are they spending their time? And I think that with the trends that I see in our society, I think that the way people spend their time is hedonistically. I think it's going to be all about escapism and all about just like ignoring what's happening because it's too much information to process. Like, it's too overwhelming, and there is a sense of helplessness in that. For example, when you go through an experience that's way too overwhelming for you, your brain will actually shut down and repress your memory and like send you, I think it's endorphins or dopamine or something. It just sends you like happy chemicals to deal with the stress of a very traumatic experience or situation. A lot of those ideas anyway are being distilled in Party, because I do feel that we are kind of at the end of a world. Like, the old world is gone. It is gone. And a new world is trying to be born, for sure, or however that quote goes. But at the same time, right now we are living in like this uniquely doomer culture. There's no sense of hope or sense of the future. And so maybe what I'm trying to do is both capture the moment, but also maybe give a little bit of hope, give a little bit of optimism, make people dance. And that's also where this idea of like, I don't want to lose my mind, I keep seeing all these signs, is coming from. You know, you're just like in this state of overwhelm. And when you're in a state of overwhelm or anxiety, a lot of times it has to do with time and this idea of like actually like running out of time. And I was feeling that a lot at the time when I was writing this, like this idea that I'm running out of time to do my art, to do my work, to make the music that I want to make. And the only reason that I feel that way is because I'm a woman in music, and music tends to be kind of youth obsessed. There is this obsession with like, you know, the fresh, young, hot new thing, and, you know, making it big, like overnight successes. This idea that if you don't hit big and quick, then you're like not good enough, and that people won't invest in you either. It's a real thing that happens in music. Like, trust me guys, this is a real thing. And so I wanted to capture that feeling in it, but then also seeing the signs is all about like literally like seeing the signs that you're supposed to keep going on the path that you're going on. You know, you guys know me, I'm a little bit of like a woo-woo kind of person. And I do believe that you get signs from the universe. I do believe that, you know, you from the future sends yourself signals that you should keep going, that you shouldn't quit, that you should just keep trying, keep doing your best, and just have discipline, have perseverance, and your time will come. It will. I believe that. I feel like we need that sense of hope in the world. We need that sense of hope as artists as well too, and it's just like really, really important. And so that's what I wrote. So we shot the video at the National Ballet School in Toronto, just downtown Toronto. And then the stuff with the stage and the Starrr, that was shot at Massey Hall. And basically the concept for the video is that it's myself and this troupe of dancers, and we're doing this performance, and we're being judged by our instructor. And as we're doing the performance, I start noticing that the other dancers have this star symbol that's like appearing on different parts of their bodies, and I'm seeing this like photo negative reflection of them. And as the music video goes on, there's a transformation that happens with everyone, but then also with myself. And at the end, like, I have my own star that is like shining brightly on my chest. And with that, again, I'm coming back to this idea of fear. And it's like fear of the process of transformation, of what happens when you like really devote yourself to a discipline, devote yourself to your work. Like, you're gonna change as a person, you know, the way that you present yourself, the way that you communicate, the things that you say, the things that you make, they're gonna change. Like, you're just gonna change as a person. And there's a lot of fear around this, because as human beings, like, we don't like change. As much as you can be, like, I am someone who's gone through a lot of different transformations in my life, like continually, all the time, forever and ever. And as much as that has happened, I still have not gotten used to change. Like, I still haven't gotten used to the fact that nothing stays the same ever. There's a lot of fear around that. Like, I still get scared. I still get scared about big changes. And I think when I was writing this album, again, this feeling that like, okay, there are big changes this time around. There's big changes happening within me, within my career, and within the way that I'm presenting myself, the kind of work that I'm making. And I was scared, guys. I was scared. Okay. And then that brings me back to this star motif and what I mean when I say the star of the Queen of Life. Like, there's a whole mythology behind that title. It's in reference to the fixed star, Vega. Maybe I'll make another video where I really go into that just because I don't have a lot of time here. But for me, when I talk about being a star and when I mention this idea of star, it's not just about like becoming rich and famous. Like, no, it's really about becoming yourself. That is what I believe in at the end of the day. When I'm making art, when I'm making music, which is my art, it's about becoming myself, you know? This transformation that is happening to me, this is the same transformation that happens to you when you embark on something that you love, something that makes you feel like more of yourself. And that entire process is you becoming a star. Your star is already in you. My star is already in me. Their star is already in them. And really what it is, it's about surrendering to it. It's about surrendering to the changes that are going to happen to you when you say, yes, this is what I want to do. This is who I am and this is who I want to become. And you like make that commitment and you take on that process. I really believe that everyone is a star. Everyone has deep potential within themselves, and the point of life is to actualize upon that potential. Like, I really just, that's something I believe in. And the thing too is that like when you're embarking upon this actualization of your potential, you're going to face criticism. You're going to face people who are going to be like, who the fuck do you think you are? Like, you're gonna face people who don't understand you as well. You're gonna face people who don't get what it is that you're doing. You're gonna face a lot of like, I don't want to say like opposition, but you're going to face a lot of oppositional energy. And the point of that is not to discourage you, not to make you feel small, not to internalize that negativity, but it's really about you just standing firmer in who you are and like carving out and defining who you are in the face of that opposition. What do they say? Pressure makes diamonds, baby, and you're a diamond, you're a star. The life of the star is never gonna be easy, but it's always gonna be worth it. That I can promise you. I feel like I chose to use the symbol of the star this time as well because I feel like symbols are very intuitive. It's like I don't need to give a breakdown and explanation of every single aspect of what it is that I'm talking about. When I say, okay, now my camera went and died, but I just plugged it in for like 5 minutes. I'm gonna just try to finish this and wrap this up. But basically, as I was saying before, is that I've been using this very specific star symbol throughout the entire campaign for this album, and you'll see it come back up again and again. And the reason I've been doing that is because to me it represents an intuitive symbolic language. I feel like symbols are containers. They contain all these like complicated, messy things that would take like, you know, pages and pages and pages of a fucking essay to explain. You could just put it all into a symbol. And so all of my ideas around like life, death, fame, success, failure, God, love, power, fate, like all of these things that I'm thinking of, I put them into the container of the star symbol. So when you hear the star of the Queen of Life and you see the symbol, it's like, you already know what I mean, you know? Like you know what the fuck I'm talking about. Okay, and now I'm just gonna like rapid fire some really quick facts that I can tell you. So fun fact number 1 is that this is my first time doing choreography in a music video, which is something that I have always wanted to do. Like I've always wanted to do choreography, so I finally did it. And all I have to say is that dancing is fucking hard, guys. Dancing is hard. Like I used to do ballet when I was younger, but I'm not a professional dancer. I do Pilates, you know, yoga, all that stuff, but dancing is so hard. Like I remember after the first rehearsal, I was sore all over my body for days. Like I have so much respect for my dancers. So big shout out to all of my dancers. Shout out to Emmett, shout out to Shayla, Janice, Melina, Sarah Lem, and Natasha. And of course, a really big shout out to our choreographer, Melina. You guys are all the best. So thank you so much for being part of my video. So fun fact number 2 that I can tell you is about one of the lyrics. So one of the lines in lyrics is nails and not a perfume. And that is in reference specifically to literally one of my favorite perfumes, which is from this brand called Juliet Has a Gun. And they have a perfume called Not of Perfume, which is a skin scent. And that means that it basically smells like nothing. I'm not like super well versed in, you know, fragrance, but I'm pretty sure that it's made up of one molecule. And to me, like skin scents and like very like low fragrances are what I prefer. Like I really like that. It makes you just smell like more of yourself. I do tend to lean more, a little bit more like naturalistic on the side of those things. I always keep a travel size of that perfume with me when I'm touring. And another perfume from them that I really like is called Lust for Sun. Okay, camera died. This is the last time I'm gonna do this now. This is the last thing that I wanna say is that I want to tell you guys what the original lyrics were going to be for the verses, and I have my notebook here with me. So originally it went, new moon, dark room, nails and not a perfume, late June, so soon, girls in line for bathroom, so cool, so real, you're a big fucking deal, no tears, nice heels, no one cares how you feel. So you can obviously tell the state of mind that I was in when I was writing the song. And that's just something that I have come to really love about pop music, is that you are able to take these like really intense, sometimes depressive emotions and feelings, and you just slap that shit on a hot beat and call it a day. And people will be able to understand what it is that you're trying to say, but you're not like depressing the hell out of everyone. And you're also gonna be able to have a good time like performing and singing it. Okay, and that's it. That's all I have to say. This camera's about to die again, but I love you guys. Okay, see you. Bye, bye, bye.